they're seeing 10, 15, sometimes more percent decline in advertising in the traditional broadcast, and that makes them go back to cable and licensing fees and see how they can generate more of those licensing fees that are much more profitable for them these days than advertising. I think advertisers in generally are the last to adopt new technologies. I mean, besides the experimenting, today there's people are spending enormous amount of time online watching video, but if you look at the spend that goes into online video in terms of advertising, it's minuscule. It's not in proportion to what it should be. And on TV, the metrics that you get are really flawed versus the metrics that you get online. So I think more dollars are gonna move online, and I just hope that the ad agencies and the marketers and the buyers become a bit less lazy. I mean, today you can go and watch premium long-form content from NBC, Fox, CBS, ABC, and you watch a show and you get 4 ads in the show, and they're all the same ads. Because the advertiser bought the exclusive of the show, but didn't bother to create 4 creatives. It's insane. And that's a very valuable asset. So I think people should get a bit less lazy. And once advertisers are going to move, I think the whole industry is going to see a shift.
So I think, Elder, from your perspective, Steve, you guys are providing an option that allows the consumers to cancel their cable subscription and just consume content in your formats on your platforms. Do you see some key advantages that you have compared to the large cable satellite telecom companies? Obviously, they've got the large install base, they've got the leverage for the content providers, so they can go and get the content that they want. What are your advantages and disadvantages?
Well, it is happening, and Amy Vance over at Comcast will tell you it's happening as well. But, they become sizable niches. After a few panels like this, I've had people come up to me, especially in this environment, economic environment, and say, "Hey, I canceled my triple play, and now I just have broadband access in my cell phone, and I use VIO basically on my PC as my DVR." I think the advantage we have, and by the way, I do think that's a niche. I don't think that our model is going to be the thing and everyone's going to cancel their cable subscriptions. But believe me, I don't believe that's going to happen. I think it is a breadth of content that's well organized and enough of the really good stuff that they can get their taste of what they need. And it doesn't happen to be just on our sites, right? If you go to NBC site, or if you go to ABC site, or you go to Lost, or you go to ours, or you go to Boxee, or you go to Netflix, you can get your fill of the current show and 4 other shows. You might get even more, right? And you might actually have more breadth from a bunch of other internet providers of content that are really, really great. So, if you're not looking for NFL football, or NBA basketball, or whatever, right, live and on the big screen, well, live, because you just plug us into the big screen, I think we offer them the basic stuff that you get on television right now. That, saving less than, $30, $40, $50, $60, $70 a month.
I also think cable is not going away. I mean, the clear advantage is that the average, I think, US cable subscriber pays $60 a month, and the average Boxee subscriber pays $0 a month. That's a big discrepancy, but I don't think cable is going away. I think it's going to, people are going to downgrade their packages, especially in those economic times, and I think some people will cancel cable. But the good news for cable and for those $22 billion that they're paying in licensing fees, that in sense of the media companies, is the transition is going to take time. It's going to take 5, 10 years. They have a lot of time to adjust their business model. So they should invest in this time, and I would argue from where I'm sitting, especially these days, that they're not really embracing it to the full extent. They're doing a lot of experiments, and I've learned a few lessons from the record industry, but I think they could be a bit more brave in experimenting online and find those business models that work. And basically, for some of them, those are going to be huge changes. I mean, if you're a cable operator, you should realize that some of your users, the core of their package is going to be broadband and not pay TV. If you're a media company, some of your brands may be in trouble, and some of your shows may be in trouble in an on-demand world. I mean, that's regardless of Boxee. Boxee is just one small instance.
How do you make money? Or you're non-profit?
I wish we were a non-profit. So the way we view our business model, and right now I think we've made $50,000. We won a competition at CES. That's our major revenue. But that's not a very scalable model. So the way we view our business model is, if in 2009 our focus is on growing the user base. We want to reach about 1 million subscribers by the end of the year. We probably will do more. And then in 2010 we hope that if we can show Hulu and NBC and Fox and Amazon and Netflix, so it depends on the business model, whether it's ad-based, transaction-based, or subscription-based. If we can show these guys that Boxee can drive more users to their services, then we can get compensated. So the way we view Boxee,
you will charge affiliate fees from the aggregator?
Yes, so the way we view it, if you want to be, Boxee is a platform free for the user and free for the content owner. We as Boxee, if we can show you as a content owner, if you're Amazon, if we can show you, I mean, if you just put Amazon on Boxee, you'll get X amount of traffic. But if we'll show you that we can promote your content to our users, then you'll get a bit more traffic, more transactions, then we should get compensated. We think it's a very honest model. So it's free for everybody, unless we take the initiative and promote, and then we want to get compensated.
So you don't seem to like cable companies, but...
No, I have Cablevision at home. I pay a lot for broadband. So there's pieces of the cable companies I like.
All right, so but between cable and telcos, with OCAP, True2A, and Lua, and we saw the announcement from Verizon, they're opening up their box. Is there a future where your applications sit on their boxes and you guys coexist?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's in our Excel sheet, we put it in like 2012. That was the last year of our Excel sheet.
Who are your investors?
No, because I think the industry is very slow to disrupt itself. You need a very strong motivation to put something in your box that potentially is cannibalizing your model. So I think it's going to happen. It's just going to take a long time. They'll have to be really compelled in order to do that. But I think cable and telcos can run a great service in the meantime of both pay TV and broadband. I'm a big non-believer in True2A, EBIF, or whatever is the acronym that they choose.
Yes, you like cable companies.
No, I just think that the concept, it doesn't matter what you call it. It doesn't even matter what the technology is. If there's a gatekeeper, if you're the cable company and you're the set-top box and you're the one that decides what I get and what I don't get, that I don't like, that users don't like, and that's going to fail, I'll take that risk and say.
I know, but True2A, I don't know if the audience is aware. It's like Apple with the App Store.
Apple in the App Store is nice, but we just got launched an iPhone remote app, and it took us 6 weeks to get approved, and some things they approve and some things they are not approved, and True2A is not that. True2A is still, as a developer, you have to go to the cable company. Each one is going to be different, and you need to convince them why your application makes sense. And if it's going to be non-friendly to their business model or does not comply with the way they want to brand themselves, they're just going to put it there.
So, Steve, do you have any comment?
On making money, on cable companies.
On trying to coexist with